It takes Franklin 14 hours to make a 200 square foot cement patio. It takes Scott 10 hours to make the same size patio. Which equation can be used to find x, the number of hours it would take Franklin and Scott to make a patio together? Okay, so basically this question is just asking if Frank and Scott were to combine their efforts, how long would it take them to make one patio? Okay, so for us to know that or to think about that, we need to think about how fast or how much of a patio Franklin can work and combine that to how much patio Scott can build within his time frame. So let's go ahead and look at that. So I see here that it takes for one patio to be made, it'll take Franklin 14 hours to do. Okay. And then we want to combine, but we don't know overall the time combined. So we're just going to leave that as x, right? Because this x is time, but we want to know combined how much they can do. Individually, we know Franklin does this, but we don't know what happens when we combine their efforts. So let's also talk about Scott, right? Because it wants us to do both of them. So I need to add what Scott can do, right? Because they're working together. And it says that Scott can create one patio every 10 hours. But again, if he's working just by himself, that's great. But again, we're working, joining forces with Franklin. So together, when they work, they are set to produce one whole patio. So then when I look at my answer choices, I see that, okay, this first one here, it has 14 hours times the amount of hours it will take them to do it combined, plus the 10 hours times the time it will be combined is equal to 200. Okay, well, yes, that's great. But what this first one is measuring or doesn't really take into account of the combined efforts that it will take a portion of what Franklin can do and a portion of what Scott can do. Here it's just treating them as totals all together, and that's not necessarily the best use of our time, right? They're not working individually, but there's combined effort. And then this here, although this does tell me how much the patio, how much area the patio has, I'm looking just to create one patio, not 200. Okay, well, this looks really similar to what we have. It looks like I've got the work that Franklin can complete, and I have the work that Scott can complete, but I'm subtracting the two. And it's not the case that how can I even phrase that? It's not the case that I am taking away the effort of Scott or Scott's contributions, but more so there again, they're working together. Okay, so look at that. That equation looks really close to what we have. And then I could see that D is really similar where when they're combining or they're talking about their two times. But again, here, I don't want to think about time individually it takes, nor do I want to take away Scott's efforts. So C is going to be our best choice. Again, because I have a portion of what Franklin can contribute, I have a portion of what Scott can contribute. This addition shows their efforts are going to be combined to complete one whole patio.